Hi guys, welcome to the Blessing at the Bar channel. Thank you for watching this video. So today I'm going to be talking about why I chose to become a barrister over a solicitor. And for some context, I'm quite far ahead in my barrister journey. I've already completed the bar course and now I'm applying for pupillage. But even though I'd already committed to becoming a barrister, I still learned a lot of things that definitely affirmed to me that I made the right choice. So if you're interested in learning why I have chosen, and I'm happy with my decision to become a barrister over a solicitor, then keep watching this video. So for those who aren't familiar, or those who just want a reminder, in England and Wales, there are two types of lawyers. There are solicitors and there are barristers. And whilst they do similar things, they have a general distinction between them in that barristers are courtroom advocates. They have the higher rights of audience, which permit them to go before a judge and actually present a case on the behalf of a client to a judge. This requires a very particular type of advocacy, and it's why solicitors and barristers undertake different but similar professional training in order to practice. I made the decision to become a barrister quite early on in life. I was about 7 years old, and I've talked about that quite a lot in some videos and different podcasts that I've done. But it really wasn't until I got to university that I really had the chance to affirm my decision to become a barrister instead of a solicitor. Now, the reason I chose to become a barrister was overall because I preferred the work that barristers do. And whilst I do acknowledge that solicitors can do some interesting things as well, I've got plenty of friends who are solicitors, there was just something about the bar route that just spoke to me more as a person. So the first thing that really drew me to the bar, and the thing that I have found affirmed as time has gone on, is independence. Barristers are independent advocates. They are self-employed. They run themselves like a business. Now, although they will most often work within a chambers, which is a collection of barristers who share resources such as admin staff, a building, and a clerking team who brings in work from solicitors, you're still an independent person and you're in charge of your own practice and your own marketing. And it's that latter part that really spoke to me. I wanted to be able to market myself and build myself into a brand as a barrister, and I wanted that to be independent to the brand of the firm that I would have been working in if I'd become a solicitor. A lot of the time with solicitors, what's essential and what's really important is the brand of the law firm. That's what gets marketed. When you complete your work, yes, a client may directly interact with you, but they're not interacting with you so much as they're interacting with the firm. And that's the part that I kind of prefer with the bar, is that barristers have a full hands-on experience with their clients, and their clients are taking on the barrister, not necessarily the chambers. Although sometimes a client may call a chambers and ask for any barrister as long as they're from that chambers, that's also common. Generally speaking, clients will know which barrister they want and why, and that's what really speaks to me. I want people to want to hire me specifically as an individual, and I want that to be a massive amount of my personal brand and my professional brand. I want to be recognizable, and I want people to think of Blessing Park when they think of a barrister that they need in my particular areas of law. Another thing that feeds into the independence is direct access. So direct access is something that I am really interested in, and is probably how I'm gonna end up working as a barrister in the future. Essentially, direct access allows members of the public to directly instruct a barrister themselves, rather than going through the traditional route of instructing a solicitor who then instructs a barrister. In that case, the barrister ends up having two clients: a professional client, who's the solicitor, and a lay client, who's the member of the public who needed a lawyer in the first place. So that is the main thing I'm interested in. I want to work directly with clients, and I want my brand as a barrister to be immediately recognizable and really, really strong. I really love that independence element of it, and I really wouldn't trade that. And in anything I do, whether it's in the bar or outside of it, I think I really want to maintain that independence and that strong sense of a personal brand. And that's why ultimately the bar route just speaks to me more. So another reason that I've chosen the barrister route over the solicitor route is time. When you're working in a corporate environment such as a law firm, especially a commercial law firm, you don't really have the same amount of ownership over your own time. When you're working in a team and the work for the team needs to get done, you can't really decide to just pack up and go home, or decide to do your work on a different day or at a different time in the same day. Now, that's what I really like about being a barrister. Barristers can generally decide when they want to do the work as long as it gets done. They can have a bit more control and ownership over their day, where they work, how they work, and I really, really, really like that. Another thing that I much prefer, that I don't really like about solicitor firms, is the concept of FaceTime. Now, when it comes to barristers, really, if you are working for professional clients, your FaceTime with them is mostly going to be just before you go into the hearing, or maybe you might have a couple of meetings or client conferences before the hearing itself. But generally speaking, you don't have to put in FaceTime whilst you're getting your work done. Whereas with solicitors, a lot of the time you've got to put in FaceTime at the office. When the work is being done, people need to see you there doing it. And I really like that barristers don't have to do that, and it definitely fits in more with me and the kind of lifestyle that I want to have. I want to work hard, and I fully expect that I'm going to be working long hours as a barrister, but I just like to have a bit more control over that. And I don't really like the idea of being in a corporate environment or having other members of a team sort of dictating how and when I work. Finally, one of the main reasons that I've chosen to become a barrister over a solicitor is because of the skills that are involved in becoming a barrister and practicing as a barrister. In particular, I'm really obsessed with advocacy, both written and oral, and conducting legal research and drafting. I really enjoy those things, and I've found that that's the part of the career that I don't really want to compromise on. Oral advocacy, so that's presenting yourself in court. As you can see by the fact that I'm a YouTuber, I really like talking to people and I like communicating things. And that's how I know that this is what I want to do. And I gave myself lots of opportunity to flesh out this interest. I mooted all the way through my undergraduate degree as a non-law student, and I also mooted during the BPTC and the GDL the year before that. All of these experiences meant that I gained a massive amount of exposure to oral advocacy, and I've actually been able to appear in the Supreme Court and the Royal Courts of Justice in front of real judges, and there's just nothing else for me that I want to do. The written advocacy part fits in with the legal research and drafting. There's a whole skill in and of itself of producing documents for a judge. When you're producing documents for a judge, it's more than just setting out how much you know, but it's a strategic tool. You want the judge ultimately to side with your client. And so there's a skill to drafting as a barrister that I really enjoyed learning about on the bar course, and I'm really looking forward to perfecting and as a pupil and beyond. So those two skills of advocacy, oral advocacy, written advocacy, knowing your case inside and out, presenting all of your immaculate research on the law, and taking questions from the judge. These are all things that I love, and I am excited to stand up in court and have all of my papers and information in front of me, and to have that intellectual back and forth and discussion with the judge. I don't think that there's any other career that can give me something like that, and that's why ultimately becoming a barrister is just far more exciting for me. So I hope that video has set out clearly clearly for you why I've chosen the barrister route over the solicitor route. And again, I just want to clarify, I don't want to bash anybody who's a solicitor. I think solicitors are really cool, and as I mentioned, in England and Wales, there are two types of lawyers. So barristers are just as much lawyers as solicitors are, and neither one is better than the other. They just perform slightly different roles, and I prefer the ones that barristers perform. Thanks for watching my video, guys, and find me online. It's Be at the Bar on Twitter and Blessing at the Bar on Instagram. Please click to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. Have you chosen to become a barrister? If so, why did you choose the bar? And if you've chosen not to become a barrister, why was that? I'd love to read your comments, so make sure that you comment and let me know what you're thinking below. Bye guys, and I'll see you in the next video.